So this is where I started redoing my entire garden. I had a problem with mice and rats nesting in my raised beds. This is where the taller one was, and they're getting in underneath, getting up in there. Also, they're getting under those white barrels over there where I was starting seedlings, and then over to the right here I had some pallets stacked up in a wooden raised bed. On top of that, growing strawberries, and they were doing a lot of damage. They were also getting under these blue barrels here, and they were tunneling up underneath and nesting up in the bottom layer of stuff I had in my beds. I was starting a bunch of seedlings in these white barrels, and they got up underneath there and ate quite a few of the seedlings. They just tunnel right up under that. They're also tunneling through this raised bed here where I have garlic growing, and also that one on the ground. Anything that has an open bottom, they're getting up underneath. But some of them are okay, like those two silver troughs there have a bottom to it, so they're fine. But this wooden one here is scraps from the fence we made, and there's a bunch of gaps where things can get in, so they're getting through there. That one's okay because it's on a cement pad underneath, so nothing has gotten in there yet. So yeah, there's a lot of work to do to stop the rats and rodents from damaging the raised beds. They were tunneling all the way up through and putting holes in the raised beds and eating the plants and causing a lot of damage. So here's the beginning phase. Just wanted to show how it looks right now, and towards the end you will see how I redo the whole thing and make it much better and much more rodent proof. So I'm wrapping the bottom of the raised beds with this hardware cloth that I use for the chicken coop. I realized later that I can just put it flat on the ground underneath the raised bed and have it go out a few inches on each side and bury it so that nothing can dig under, and it's much easier to do it that way. So that's how I continued to do it with the rest of the raised beds. And here's the first one in place. Here's some more tunneling from the rodents under these barrels here. They can't get into them because of the solid bottom and just small holes at the bottom, but they're going under there. And then here's how I wrap this one in hardware cloth and set that in there. This one's all set, buried under a little bit on the sides. And I'm working on filling it up with soil I took out of it. So I left off yesterday. Just finishing up filling these raised beds back up. Hopefully all that. And this is my good friend Christian helping me level the ground here for the rest of the raised beds I got. And we're just setting them in place.
And Linda whispers thank you.
Making sure they're all level and even. And we worked into the night, getting them all set the first day he came over and helped. And here's the pile of 9 yards of soil I got for them to fill them up with. And here's the next day, they're all set up. But that one I did first, I buried too low, so I end up fixing that later on. And here's the one replacing that wooden one I had there. And another one over here replacing those pallets and the mess with the rat's nests under it. So we got a lot more room for planting now. The roots will be happy in these giant raised beds. They're 8 feet long, 2 feet wide, and 3 feet deep. This first one looks a little weird because I think they didn't have the right brackets back when I got it a few years ago. They're much more upgraded now that I got new ones, and I'm gonna try and get another set of those bars that go across inside to keep it kind of in shape, because it kind of bows out at the bottom, so I'm gonna have to fix that. But yeah, so you can see it's buried too low here, because I thought I should bury it to keep that hardware cloth kind of tight around the bottom there, which it did work, and the rats can't get in there now. But I end up lifting it up. I end up taking all that soil back out and lifting it up even with the other ones, but it wasn't all that bad. And I probably will end up taking the soil out again and putting those bars at the bottom to keep it in shape like these ones are. It's a big project though, so for now it's okay. And you'll see here coming up here soon, all these will be full. And yeah, just showing how much lower that one is there. But yeah, I'm gonna start filling the other raised beds and move all these plants over where they should be. I just put them here temporarily while I was moving everything. And yeah, start filling the raised beds up with dirt. I ended up getting a little trailer for my lawnmower so I could haul the dirt a little bit easier, and it helps quite a bit, especially when my friend came over. So there was 2 of us going, one on the wheelbarrow and one with that, and it helped move things along a lot. And this is on my birthday. I was bringing some plants out and planting some things that I had going in my basement. Some parsley and beets to get the season started. My birthday's May 16th, and that's usually every year it's safe to start planting by then, so it's always a fun thing to do on my birthday. And this is the day I finally finish filling all the raised beds up and start figuring out what else to do with the rest of the soil I got, because I got extra just in case. And so I'm taking advantage of that, and also finishing up my greenhouse, because there's a gap at the bottom now when I added those cement pillars to it. So kind of making it a subterranean greenhouse a bit, digging down a little, and put hardware cloth around the edges, and I'm filling that in with some dirt and just packing that in and working on filling these up. Those were the last 2 I had to fill up. Got some garlic going over here, some carrots here, a blueberry bush that I moved just today over here in a mound to use up some of the dirt that I had. These are the kiwi berries, vining kiwi I have. I've planted out a bunch of seeds today, direct sowing cucumbers and squash and melons and cantaloupe. And here's my seedlings going in the greenhouse. Some warmer weather stuff: tomatoes, peppers, ground cherries, calendula, some herbs, basil and dill and cilantro, parsley. Here's a full raised bed planted out. And I was doing some work in my little back shed here area that I got organized a little bit. Got this little compost section going back here. Blueberry bush there along the side of the greenhouse. Starting to look pretty nice out here. Much better than before, I think. And the greenhouse is looking good. Finally can use it now. Next season I won't have to use any grow lights. I can just start growing out here in the early spring, late winter, because now the bottom's sealed up and there's no more air getting in there. So thank you so much for watching this far, and I appreciate your patience. Really hopeful for a successful season this year, so stay tuned, and thank you for watching and subscribing. Take care.